Okay, so first things first, a line with your lower half was terrible. Now, that's not going to cause the ball to go that way. It's going to restrict your body motion, certainly through the ball, because if you're right back here, you can't do any of this. Okay, and what you had, and you'll see it kind of more in how the swing looks as opposed to how the hips are working, because hips aren't moving that much more, but they don't need to move that much more to get the shots you're getting, as you'll see. Okay, as you go back here now on the takeaway here, this foot was sort of rising up as you went for the hip, sort of the heel going there. You can sort of see rising up as you go back and create like kind of this sort of motion there, almost like a lifting and a pulling. And as you then come back to the golf ball, because the balance is out now, look how awkward your lower half still looks like. Trying to sort of don't go out the way and just trying to lose sort of any sort of control, and there's no balance there.
And
whatsoever.
the length of the club probably exaggerates that.
100%, yeah, exactly. When you got a wedge or 9 and the club's a lot shorter, your control, when you give a wedge to someone, they can usually get a wedge at the middle part of the club. 7-iron, not so good to start with. They get better with 7-iron, 6-iron, 5-iron, they get up better and better. So when you get to a longer club, when your skill set's higher, your miss is going to be smaller. So the longer, if I had a 10-foot driver, give me 5 balls, I'd probably think. There's a guy at the trick show went to the day and stuff, he had a 10-foot driver, he's flushing it 400 yards. Okay, because he's just used to doing that club. His skill set is like good enough with that length club. Okay, as opposed to me, take me a few shots, you might take you 20 shots. I don't know, it'd be enough. Okay, but in terms of your setup, we can get yourself lined up better. Okay, the key thing is now in this right hip, it goes back, but just goes back as a result of you turning. It's not just like, okay, hip goes back and fire it back, because then your balance again will be out, your timing is all that. Okay, but as you go back here now, you can see the little gap now appearing in your leg there, which is great. Sort of getting your lower half to unwind. Okay, so top of the backswing here, we're in a really good position. Now from here, you just unwind it. So from the setup, you've gone from the weight being kind of middle of your feet, top of the patch, now you've turned sort of the right heel, and now from there we're going to turn through to the left. As you come back to the golf ball here now, you're striking the ball. Look at your lower half now at impact. Your posture's certainly maintained better. You're not so tucked up and like, where am I going to go? Obviously, it's a much better contact with the golf ball there. Okay, as you swing through, the foot now rotates through, so the weight's now on that back left heel. Okay, whereas this one here now, when you're swinging through, the right foot sort of a spin at the end, you're not really lifting that right foot, are you?
No, it looks terrible.
Your feet were kind of going there and then there, the old sort of stepper worker type thing, rather than sort of actually any coil or rotation. But I think that just comes from the fact when you lose confidence with any club, you're like, okay, right, this is going to be rubbish more often than not, so I'll do less to be less rubbish. And your swing just got to the point where you were swinging, so okay, right, as you said, I just sort of do that to try and bunt it. Well, in your mind, I think, okay, if I hit my 6-iron, that's 150, that goes 150, why hit it? It's a wasted club in the bag.
That's what I've got to with it. It's pointless. It brings me nothing.
Exactly. This should be 50 yards more than beyond your 6-iron, easily.
Which I understand.
On a 400-yard hole, it's a shot.
The difference between a par and a ball.
Exactly. If you gave 50 yards for a shot on this one, you could do driver or 3-wood hybrid, so you get you almost 400 yards as opposed to 6-iron going 150. 6-iron now 300 yards. Okay, wedge 100. That's 3 shots. This is 2.
I shot like 6 or 7 bogeys. But if I had that confidence.
6 of those bogeys to impact. Exactly. But that's the thing. So if we can get your lower half functioning better, so it's set up your weights kind of middle of your feet, right heel, middle of your feet, left heel. Okay, so it's kind of rotating around like an arc here, heel, middle, heel. What you had was like right toe, hips back, forward, trying to dance
Which
away.
I think you're right. I think subconsciously is your brain saying this is going to go terrible.
And if you're going to lose balance, what do? You try and sort of stop the balance being lost by just sort of adjusting and freezing. So set up, make sure your lower half is a bit lined up, and then just feel a bit more twist for your lower half. The better your lower half works, the more effective your top half can be. The top half's the glamour and the fun, and that gives you this little long shots, but if the lower half's rubbish, it ain't going to work. It's like foundations of a house. The foundations are good, the house can look pretty. No matter how good the decor is and the living spaces, if the foundations are poor, the house falls down in it. So, make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
Cool.